Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Now I picked these up at a car boot sale for 50 pence. Now that's all these were 50 pence, and they are plastic embroidery hoops. Now I'm going to show you what you can do with these plastic embroidery hoops or anything that is a hoop. Now bear in mind I only paid 50 pence for these, for the whole packet, plus there was another large blue one this size. There's another large blue one that's here that I've already used part of that. So all of those for 50 pence is absolutely amazing. Now I'm going to move these to the side. I'm going to show you how to make a dream catcher. Now you don't, I'll move them under there. Now the first thing that you want to do so that you can get your circle all marked out properly, I'll show you that in a little minute, but what I've done is I've taken a piece of 12 by 12 paper and I've drawn a big circle on it. Now all I did was I just used the hoop. I just drew around the hoop. You can draw around a big dinner plate, anything that will give you a nice big circle. Now what you're going to do first of all is we're just going to cut around. Doesn't need to be perfect. This is going to be your template and you should keep this because it comes in very, very handy for marking out the sections of a circle. Let's just cut that out. There we go. Put that part in the bin. Now what you're going to do is just take your circle and fold it in half like this. Use my scissors. And then fold it in half again. And then again. Now I think it's going to be too tight for me to do it another one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this section in to the middle. And score that. And then I'm going to do the same to this side. Bring this side in. And smooth that down. So what you get is that. Open that up. You can see all the sections on this. When you put your hoop on, it gives you a little marker. Anytime if you've got anything that you need to mark off, then this is a great little template to hang on to. So I'm going to set that aside just now. I have a plastic ring. You can make one from cardboard. This is just cardboard from a box. So all you need is to cut 2 circles like this and then just mark a smaller circle around the edge and then cut it out with a craft knife. And what you'll get is this. You can do the same thing and it's completely free if you've got an empty box that you can use. So you can use a cardboard circle for this as well. So what you're going to do is you just take your yarn and tie it to your hoop. Just tie it onto your hoop like this. And then what you're going to start doing now, you're going to start just wrapping the yarn around your hoop. Just feed it through your hoop like this all the way around. Just wrap it all the way around your hoop like this, and what you'll have So what you'll get is this. Now my hoop is completely covered in my yarn like this. Now I've drawn some lines on just to make this a little bit more clear so that you can see what we're going to do. Now just sit your hoop on like this and you can clearly see the sections where we're going to mark. Now we're just going to do a tiny little mark on each of these sections to make our dream catcher. So this is what's going to help us make the spider web out of this circle. I'll put that aside. I'm going to keep that. I'll keep that for when I need it again. So I've got a few little balls of my yarn and I'm going to tie it on the first mark. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tie this on my first marker here. Now this is going to be the back of my dream catcher anyway, so it doesn't matter if you do see any of the marks. Let's tidy that up. Now what you're going to do with it is put your fingers under here, and this is our next mark here. I'm going to bring my yarn over and through like this. On to this mark here, and the next one here we're going to do the same. Take it around and feed it through the loop. Just make sure that one stays there. And do the same to that one. Now around again and through the loop and put it to that one. Our next marker's here. So just line it up. We're doing this all the way around. Just bring it through like this. So around your loop, around your hoop, and bring it through like that onto your marker. And this is what's going to make what's called the spider web of the dream catcher. Just hold that one there. Our next mark's here. Bring it through and pull over your hoop and through the loop. So we're going over your loop, over your hoop, and bring it through like this, and then just tighten it in. Over your loop and through, and we'll tighten it on that mark there. Over and through. So once we've came all the way around, what we're going to do is we're going to go into the middle of this one. So just put your yarn, just stuff it through there and bring it through your loop like this and into the middle, through the middle of this one. So just loop it through and bring it through your hoop like this to the middle. Just hold it there, push it through this one. That's why you don't need too big a ball, and then through that hoop like this all the way around. We're going to work all the way around, so I'm just going to hold that there, push it through that space and bring it through the big hoop. You'll have a big hoop like this, bring it through. So we're going to thread it all the way around. What you're going to do is you're going to find this part where we went through there. And we're going to put our yarn through there and bring it through the loop. So we're halfway down that one, and then find this one. Mutley growling away there at something outside, and through and pull. So what we're going to do is we're going to work our way with our little spider web in all of these sections now, in all of these sections. So push it through and down, push it all through, make sure you come through your hoop, push it through, bring it through your hoop, through there. And we're going to work our way in to the middle. Now this is my last round that I'm going to do through each of my little sections. When you get down this far, just make sure it's your next little section that you're going into and not the same one that you've already just made. Going into this one. And then this one. Really back to where we started. This one. Now that's us back to the beginning. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through there and through there. I'm going to go through the same one again just to finish it off. Make sure that's all nice and round and tie it in. Now that's that part of your dream catcher finished. So I have my dream catcher spiderweb part, I'm going to call it a spiderweb part finished. I've got some nice sort of ivory ribbon because the thread I was using, remember the yarn I was using was this one, and it's got like a little silver thread through it. Now all you need to do is, I'm going to set that this way. All you need is some lengths on your dream catcher. It's up to you how long you make these. It's up to you. You can have them, it's it's a little bit large for going in. You can have them, I would make two the same size for either end, and then I'm going to put two slightly longer ones. I will take a picture of this when it's hanging up so you can see it. A couple of longer ones in the middle. You can put some beads on if you've got a bead that's got a wide enough hole to go through your ribbon. You can use the actual threads that you were using. It's up to you how you do this. Now what I'm going to do, because I've got really large spaces, I've got my glue back. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my ribbon, I'll turn it back to front. So I'm going to put my first ribbon through there just to slightly hide that joint where I started. And I will put the glue on my dream catcher itself, just over this piece, if I can get it to come out. There we go. A little bit on there, a little bit onto the actual ribbon itself, like that. I'll set that over there. And I'm just going to wrap it around like this. This joint will be at the back, so I'm just wrapping it around like that. I'll zoom in a little bit. You're not going to get the whole dream catcher in if I zoom in, but that won't matter. I'll show you at the end. So I'm going to bring that down so that will stick like that. Just even it all up nice and neat. I'm going to bring my camera down a little bit. There we go. Now it does look kind of black and white, my picture, but it's because it's all ivory. So I'm going to put that there. And what I have is, I get it nice and neat behind each other. It will dry clear. I've got these little bulldog clips and I'm just going to clip that on so it holds that there. Any glue will dry clear. Now I have got all my little feathers. Now I have got a tutorial on my channel how to make these yarn feathers. I'm going to be adding those to the ribbon, but I'm going to put the ribbon on first and I'll get it all dry and I'll come back and I'll show you what it looks like. So I'm going to show you how I managed to join the feathers like this to the ribbon. You might think, how did she get that bead on there? Now I only have these pearl beads, and you can buy bigger ones if you want, but I'm trying to use what I've got around in the house. Now the ribbon, I've just folded it and then I folded it again like this. And what I did is I took the bead does have quite a sort of largish hole in it, and I just poked the end in. If it doesn't go in too easy, get yourself a little sharp pokey tool and just poke the end of the ribbon into the hole. I've made the ribbon a little bit longer so I can trim off the messy end that I'm making. I'm making a bit of a mess on the end of this one, but it doesn't matter, I'll just trim that off. So all you do is just poke the ribbon back through this side. This is the easiest way I found to put a sort of smallish bead on, and there you go. I'm going to trim that off anyway. So what I've done with these, I'm going to show you this. Look at this. This is all my little feathers hanging on my dream catcher like this. Now I will show you a picture of it because the dream catcher is quite large and quite long. I will show you a picture once I've finished what it looks like hanging up. Now I got my PVA glue again. I'm just going to pull the bead up a little bit. Pull the bead up a little bit. And I'm just going to put some glue on. This is going to help hold the bead on. Now I will say to you that this does have some small parts on it, so try not to put it where young children are going to get their hands on it and pull it around, especially with those beads on it. So I've got just a point, it's just pointed on my feathers. What I'm going to do is I'm going to push the bead down, but I'm going to push this wire in the way as well. So when I sort of pull the ribbon up through the bead as if I was pulling it out, then I'm going to take this one and do the same. I'm just going to push this one in. You can do your ones the length you want. You can have them right in and pushed right through if you want. And just give that a little pull. Doesn't matter if your wires come out the other side, you can snip them off. I don't want it too long, it's long enough as it is. So I'm going to push that right up through. Just get my pliers. It's up to you. You can fiddle around with yours and make it to the length that you want. I'm going to snip that excess wire off. It's better to have too much wire than not enough. So it's better to have them too long than too short. And there we go. And I'll just pull that back a little bit so that those wires are inside the bead. The wires are inside the bead. I'll just trim my little piece off here and leave it like that around there. And there we go. That's destroyed that little feather a little bit. Once that dries off, this is the tail of the dream catcher. I'm going to zoom out and show you as much of this as I possibly can. So I've zoomed up as much as I can so that you can actually see all the rest of the dream catcher. So once it's hanging up, it's going to be very, very pretty. Look at that. Those feathers are just amazing on this dream catcher. It's really, really pretty. Now, I couldn't make it much shorter because my hoop is really big. I've still got one large feather left, so I don't know what to do with that. I might just hang it from right here in the middle when I've got it hanging up. I might just hook it just right up through there like that and just bend it a little bit. So that one's just going to hang in there in the middle like that. So it's really easy. The hardest part is doing this, and then even then I'm going to say that's quite easy once you know how. If you use that little pattern that I showed you how to make, to mark out on any of your circles where to start your winding around to make your spider web, that is a great help, and it's a great thing to hang on to as well. So it's up to you. You can make these smaller, you can design the bottom of it whatever way you want. I've just got my pearl beads on here. That's all it is. It's just some scrap ribbon, my little wool feathers that I showed you in the other tutorial to do, and a plastic hoop. You can use cardboard if you want, wrapped around some yarn. I made the spider web with yarn, and then I just used some very cheap beads on it, and that's it, and it's beautiful. It's really, really pretty. Well, I will take a picture of it, like I said, hanging up, just to show you what it looks like when it's all hanging up, and it's really, really pretty. I'm really proud of it. I like it, and I love those feathers. I really, really love those feathers. So thank you very much for watching. Please click on the subscribe button. Please click the subscribe button and subscribe to my channel. I really, really would appreciate it. Your moral support is fantastic. So until the next time, happy crafting, and I'll see you all again soon. Goodbye. Now remember and give this a little go as well.